Ah, the most holy relics that our country could dream up. The legendary, blessed crystal football. So the Pope, Pope Leo, met with Secretary of State Rubio this week, and Rubio brought a present, like a normal diplomatic visit. And the present for the Pope was a glass football, a friggin' crystal football paperweight. Marco Rubio, a Catholic, our Secretary of State, flew across the Atlantic, walked into the Apostolic Palace, met the literal Pope, and handed him a crystal football, etched with the State Department logo, like something you'd see at the gift shop at the Michigan Wolverine Stadium. And yeah, he is a sports fan, by the way. Might have made a little sense. Pope Leo, he is a Chicago-born White Sox fan. But when he accepted the present, he paused for a second. He looked at it, and he said, wow, okay. That's the polite papal way of saying, this is going right in the holiest of trash cans. Now, if you know me, you'll know I'm a non-practicing, recovering Catholic. You know, it was the Crusades, the kids, the cover-ups, the money grab, the centuries of it. I'm out. But my friends and family, they still go to sit in the pews. And so when I'm telling you to pay attention to the Pope, I want you to know I'm not telling you any of this as a member of the Catholic flock. But I still watch what's going on. And I'm telling you all of this because in 2026, the Catholic vote is going to matter. And the leader of the global Catholic Church just publicly smacked the President of the United States down repeatedly. And so yeah, Pope Leo XIV, the first American Pope, and yes, I see you in the comments, the first United States American, I saw you guys. He's the first one in 2,000 years of Catholic history. And May 8th was his 1-year anniversary of being Pope. And in that year, Leo has been a thorn in Trump's diaper since week 1. Pope Leo is pro-immigrant, pro-refugee, anti-war, specifically anti this Iranian war. And he is against all of Trump's most basic programming. Why? Because the Pope has morals. Trump does not. And Pope Leo has used his platform, the most powerful religious platform on the planet, to keep calling out the President of the United States time and time again. And in response, Donald Dumpster Fire, true to form, lost his entire damn mind about all of it. He started attacking the Pope, called him weak on crime, called him terrible for foreign policy. And last week on Hugh Hewitt's radio show, said the Pope is, quote, endangering Catholics and a lot of people. And then separately repeated the outright lie that the Pope wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon, which, by the way, the Pope has never said. It's in fact the complete opposite of the Pope's position. The official Catholic Church position is being opposed to any nuclear weapon since their very existence. And the Vatican's Secretary of State, the Vatican's number 2, and I'm going to resist any Austin Powers jokes there. This guy's entire job is to use polite words. He told the reporters, quote, that the Pope is doing what he must do. The Pope is being the Pope. So to attack him in this way, to reprimand what he does, seems to me a bit strange. End quote. Strange. That's the holy word for that man is effing sick in the head. And so why does this matter? Why are Catholics so important, especially leading into this election? I need you to look at the math. Roughly 20% of American adults are Catholic, roughly 60 million people. And so far, in recent years, they're not a monolith. There is no Catholic vote in the block voting sense. They are swing voters. And they are swing voters in Pennsylvania and in Wisconsin and Michigan and Florida. And yeah, the Catholic vote trended towards Trump in 2024. But now it is moving back. New polls out this week show that Trump's grip on his religious base is slipping, precisely as the Catholic Pope keeps being the Catholic Pope. And I want you to contrast, if you will, Pope Leo with the other kind of Christian leadership that Dr. Donald McJesus Trump surrounds himself with. You got Pete Hegseth and Doug Wilson. I mean, Hegseth is a evangelical Christian nationalist who literally attends a church that believes in Christian domination and Christian dominion over civil government. And that church also thinks that women shouldn't be able to vote and they exist only to plop out kids. You've got J.D. Vance, and he is a Catholic, a recent convert, Trump's understudy. And yet he has spent his career picking fights with American bishops, and he tweets at Catholic theologians. And theologically and politically, he is an antagonist of any of the Pope's approaches. Marco Rubio, a Catholic, and he sat across from the Pope for 2.5 hours, and the Pope gave him a beautiful, thoughtful cedar pin as a symbol of peace, after Marco Rubio handed him a crystal football paperweight, which is a symbol of, I don't know, the Big Ten Conference? Who knows? Trump and his cabinet are Christian only because it brings money and votes. Pope Leo, on the other hand, just to show you the type of guy he is, just made a Salvadorian-born immigrant, a former undocumented immigrant, the type of person that Trump would want beaten, kidnapped, and shipped to a country he's never been to. That man was named a bishop in West Virginia the week before Marco Rubio met with him, met with the Pope. Pope Leo, he knew exactly what he was doing. And if you grew up Catholic and walked away like me, and you've been sitting on the sidelines watching your former church get used as a prop by people who don't care about the Sermon on the Mount, it's time to pay attention. Leo's different, and I'm not saying he's fixed the church enough to get me or any of you back in a pew, but he is the first U.S. American Pope, and he's using the chair of St. Peter to push back against Trump, and that's never happened. It's never happened in our lifetimes. It may be the most interesting religious story of our adult lives. Do me a favor, subscribe, leave me a comment, because we are going to keep tracking this, because this is going to matter more and more from here until November. Trump, he's going to keep screeching and slurring incoherently, while Pope Leo is going to keep being the Pope. You know, the one with morals. And eventually, one of those two men will run out of moves. Meanwhile, by the way, the algorithm, it prefers AI-driven Islamophobia. That's why I need you guys to comment and fight that.